there. Oh no, so much stress. It's crazy. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Yes, no, maybe. No. I hope everything is okay. Let me just turn this down a little bit. Hey everybody, Kitty Sapphire here, and welcome to Con Reviews. Today we're going to talk about the recent con that just passed this weekend, Mount Vernon's Public Library Comic Book Expo. They changed the title from last year. It used to be Mount Vernon Comic Con, but you must excuse me, my room is kind of a disarray. I'm just preparing for the fall, the crisp, cool air, the leaves changing color, and all that jazz, you know. And Halloween is almost afoot, so usually that's really what you guys really like about fall, right? One of the few things that I like about it. Me personally, I like all the stuff that comes with fall, all except for allergies. Allergies really make it all so intolerable. It's just pathetic. Anyway, so yes, today, so let's pull it back a little bit and just focus on the main topic here, which is Mount Vernon Comic Con. If you guys don't know, or if you guys are new to my channel, I do 3 different live streams, including some art live streams and stuff like that on Twitch. But for this segment, every Monday, or I try to do it every Monday if things are not too crazy, I do a live stream called Con Reviews, which I do a review about various cons that I've been to over the past weekend. Also, I give out a couple of advice to those who are running the conventions or those that are going to conventions. I've done other stuff like con advice, how to make things a little bit cheaper, how to prepare for a con a little bit. But going back on the main topic, I'm going to talk about the Mount Vernon Public Library Expo this past weekend. I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and the unique stuff. Stuff that you don't necessarily, or me personally, I don't necessarily see that commonly at other conventions. And, you know, it's sort of like the little nicks and charms of a convention. Because usually, you know, everybody says, some people I've seen saying, well, you've been to one convention, you've been to them all. No, every convention has their own uniqueness about them. But so that's pretty much the long and short of it about con reviews. This is going to be a little bit on the long side, so a little bit like 15 to 30 minutes. I'll try to keep it in regular. I can't pronunciate words. My apologies. My bad. But I'm going to try to keep it as a nice, sizable situation. If you guys have a couple of questions, of course, you can put it in my live stream. Also, you can have it in the comments feed at the very bottom if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that. Or maybe you might be interested in going next year. Who knows? So let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to talk about what happened. I'm going to start with the good. And it's just, one thing I love about this particular convention is I will never stop saying how incredibly fast it's grown. Like, I was talking to the main person who's responsible for the convention as a whole. I'm always shocked at how big this small convention has become, especially the fact that it's actually run the same span time as another convention that I really adore called Anime NYC, which is well known because it's owned by Crunchyroll. And to have a small convention kind of grow at the same rate at one of the bigger conventions, that's impressive. Usually it takes a couple of years, maybe a couple of bits of trial and error, but it seems like these guys really know what to do. The person who's really running it is a fellow fan of the fandoms and the comic scene and the anime scene, and they seem to know what they're really doing with this. Of course, like any other convention, there's a little hiccups here and there, but I'll talk about that like more in the the bad section. But you know, but round of applause for your growth, the rapid growth. So round of applause for that. Also, I have to say that to turn it from just a meager, small, when I first started, because this is one of the few conventions I've been to that I've been to where I've been at the very, very beginning, the very part of its conception, all the way to present time. Not a lot of people get that opportunity. Sometimes they get to see the convention within like maybe its third, fourth, maybe fifth run. No, I've gotten the pleasure to seeing it from its conception to the very beginning, and also the fact that it went from an indoor convention in a small library with a stage and maybe two segments, which I have to say is really cool, of what they could use at that first year to make it into, or to make it feel like a full-on convention, to actually growing so big that they have it outside. Now, there's not a lot of conventions I know that have their segment outside. So I think that's really cool to actually went from a library to a sort of like a block party type feel. And I think that's really cool. So kudos on that. I love the expansion. I love that feel. It's a very different feel from every other convention that I've been to. Usually they have a big convention hall. This one is outside in the fresh air, and just getting that feel also gave me a feel of like when I was little, I would go to with my mom to these festivals in the city, in the boroughs, like in the Bronx, or the county fair in Yonkers. Some of you guys might remember that. Some of you guys might not. But yeah, getting that feel of having that small time festival vibe is really, really nice. So kudos on that. Also, I'm going to praise the person who's really running this. She is a wonderful person. Like I said, she really knows what it's like in the con atmosphere. She really loves what she's doing. She's trying to provide a healthy atmosphere, because this actually takes place in an area where there's not a lot going on. And it's a little different from what I would say another convention called ValleyCon, where it's in a mall and there's like really nothing going on there. But this is a hot spot where there's not really a positive. Well, no, I don't want to say that. I want to say there's not a lot of things that call out to people that are like us, who are into fandoms, that are into anime, where they kind of have a lot of the extra outdoor activities, they have to think about their budget and what have you, and some of the extra activities were actually put to the wayside. This is a nice supplement for that. And just seeing a large quantity of people that are interested in it, a lot of kids that are interested in it, and they feel so comfortable here. So kudos to the person who's really running this, and it seems like she really knows what she's doing, and she just wants to continue making this bigger and bigger, so people have some place to go. Us geeks and nerds and otakus have some place to go. So I really appreciate that. Also, kudos to the person that allowed this to happen, because I know there are some higher ups above her that sometimes are wary with a certain idea like this, especially in the starting roots of it. It's sort of like you might not be new or up on it, but it seems like the person who really took a chance and gave this person the opportunity to do this, thank you so much for giving her the chance. And it seems that you're really into the old school comics, so it's nice to show that a bunch of fans are coming together. I have to thank the volunteers. You guys are wonderful. You guys don't know that you are the life's blood of making things fun and habitable, because you get, not saying that the higher ups are not doing a great job as well, but you guys get full on contact. You are on the floor with the fans, with the vendors, with the artist alley, and you get to see all the things that are going on, and that's important. And you want to make sure that everything is fun and entertaining to everybody, as well as fun and entertaining for yourself, and getting to engage that connection with the cosplayers, the artists, the vendors. You guys did an excellent job to keeping everything in order and helping out the main top tier that's putting this all together, the top organizer putting this together. So thank you guys. Also the hospitality. I will say for a small time convention like this, they have one of the biggest. I have to say these guys are the most hospitable. Oh goodness, the hospitable con that I've ever been in. Not only the fact that they cater to their customers and their fans needs, but they also cater and they go the extra mile to make sure that the vendors are okay and the artist alley is okay. Like they come around with carts, especially the fact that over the weekend it was a really hot day. I decided not to cosplay. Usually I do cosplay every year, but it was so hot outside I decided not to do cosplay and just put a kawaii shirt on. But it was hot that day, and they came around with water bottles and snacks and stuff like that, and they made sure every so often to say, you know, are you okay? You know, how's everything going? Yada yada yada. You know, they made sure for that to be a thing. Also, they gave an opportunity. Unfortunately, I didn't go because at times I'm kind of a little stage frightened. That they come out and sort of like give kudos to the artists to come out, and you know, the people that give entertainment to the fans come out and say their piece and, you know, come by their booth and stuff like that, which I think is really, really cool. The MC, I love the MC, him and Gatra Negra. You guys are wonderful. You guys are really cool. I love seeing you guys every year, and it's nice to see you guys are still traveling on the con circuit. Also to see that you guys have expanded because, and I will get to Gatra Negra later. But yeah, it's really nice to see you guys. It was fun. Of course, wonderful MC, Peace. He always comes out with fun trivia. It's funny. He's funny. He keeps you guys he keeps you laughing, and it's just a bunch of fun. So I would have to say, as far as the changes is concerned, let's see. The arrangement, I love how they have the vendors outside and the artist alley outside, including the stage where they have like bands and musical artists come out, you know, indie bands and such come out, and they're outside with the food truck. Also, I'm glad that they added another activity to it, which is called the Nerf gun war, which I thought that was really cool. They have like sort of like a obstacle course set up, which I thought was really cute from what I could see. Also, it was nice to have the food trucks again. Yay, food trucks. For anybody who knows anything about going to conventions, food trucks, besides going to your, you know, customary, you know, food areas in various cities, the food trucks are always fun. They're very interesting. That's from what I saw of outside. As far as what they did indoors, which I thought was very interesting, is they changed it up and turned the two rooms into one section, a cosplay lounge and repair room, and then the other, a actual game room. Now, from previous times, the game room was in a computer lab, which, you know, would be customary, and, you know, it would make sense. But I have to say it was a lot more spacious in that extra room. They had an actual a projector where you get to see the actual fights. They have a full-on tournament. I thought this was really cute that they had the people that were volunteering in the game room were dressed up in cosplay schoolgirl reffing uniforms. I thought that was really adorable. Please keep that. That was hilarious. I like that. It's nice. It's nice. Nice little touch, and pay attention to detail. The cosplay lounge, nice, cool area. They had a changing section. What they did was they closed down the child library. Like, of course, the library, all of it, majority of it is closed, but they had a changing area for cosplayers in the back under the folds. And then they had a lounge section as well as a sewing station, a gluing tape station, and an ironing board. Out of all the conventions that I've been to, there's never been an ironing board, and I appreciate it. Especially the fact that I had to deal with a shirt that was basically wrinkled because I stuffed it in a certain, well, not stuffed it, I rolled it up in my bag. And you know, when you have your stuff in there with, you know, your clothing, your cosplay stuff in with your art stuff, it gets kind of messy at times. So in turn, they had an ironing board, which I appreciate. I know that some people might not have it out because of the fact that it can cause, you know, problems as far as, you know, somebody getting burned or hurt. But what I loved about it is they did have a person in the cosplaying repair lounge, actually two people from what I could see, that monitor what was happening. So I really appreciated with the ironing board. It was well set up. I can't wait to see next year if this continues. I hope it does, because Lord knows, everybody knows this. Any heavy dude cosplayer knows this, that it's really hard when you're doing a cosplay and you get really excited and you go to different venues and panels and stuff like that. You get so involved with the convention itself, you don't realize that you might have damaged your cosplay, and you need a place to actually repair it if you want to, you know, if for those who are really adamant of how they look and they want to continue being that character. So thank you for so much for having the cosplay lounge and repair station. So please keep that on. I thought that was really cool. Of course, it was nice to see this year more vendors, more artists in the group. I think there was like maybe six last year, or it might be the same number of artists in Artist Alley, but I feel like it expanded a little bit. I think it was just 8 last year, and now there are 10 artists in there. So it was nice to see a growth in artists. It's nice to see a growth in vendors. It was just wonderful. As far as the band, of course, Gata Negra was also wonderful to have. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, guys. So like Gata Negra, I always loved her. You know, I have both of her albums, so you know, it was really nice to see her again. It's nice to see Peace. I was hoping to have more of her, since all the past years she's done at least 3 songs. I didn't actually get a chance to see her. Like, usually I do stop my booth and go over to see the stage. I didn't get a chance to do that this time because unfortunately I was kind of on a swamp here. But usually from what I hear, she does like maybe 3 songs. I was hoping a little bit more, like maybe 2 more songs. So, you know, of course, it was just nice to have her back. And also you had a band that did a lot of video games. I know they were there last year. I'm hoping that this will continue. I hope more talent comes in. Other artists who make music based on fans of comics and anime and all that other jazz. I hope that you guys continue coming to this convention, because definitely it's something that I think we would all really appreciate. I really do. So as for the food trucks, Caribbean Time was a wonderful selection. If you guys don't know, it's mainly Caribbean, more like Jamaican food. I just love. It's been so long since I had true Jamaican food, and it was just wonderful to have such tender meats of jerk chicken. I had jerk chicken, rice and peas with oxtail gravy. I loved it. And usually it's really hard for me to eat jerk chicken because sometimes the spices are so heavy that you take a bite in it and the spices rush your mouth and you can't taste anything else. So it was nice to have this particular food truck come in, and their jerk chicken was just right. That it had that same spice and yeah, a little heat to the mouth after a few bites, instead of just having it in the first bite and you're like, oh my god, hot, 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 and you're able to taste every aspect of the food. I loved it. And these guys are in White Plains. I know I have the address right here in 61 Court Street, White Plains, New York. I would recommend you guys try it for yourself if you really like Caribbean and Jamaican cuisine. These are the guys to go to. and they just seem to be very wonderful. And they cook everything fresh, so please stop by. If anything else, I would have to stop by that place myself. But this was a nice opening up to another place in town that it's like, hey, I have another place. If I have a taste for Jamaican food, that's another place I can go to. And now we come to the pinnacle of the bad. Now, may I remind you, it's not the fact that I want to be, this is me being mean. It's just, this is a section where I want you guys to improve on your convention. I want you guys to thrive. I love your convention, trust me. I love your convention, but there are some little hiccups here and there that I have seen or asked around about, regarding this convention. So, please take it, this is my personal opinion. Other people might feel something different, but this is just a suggestion on my end. So starting with the music and a DJ. Now, first, I appreciate you guys have a DJ, but as much as I did love Gatra Negra and the indie band afterwards, I didn't necessarily care for the DJ. The reason why, and I think this might have been a little bit of a problem previously, because I think this is, I don't know, last year was a little bit better, but this year I think was a step back. Regarding the DJ, it seemed like they were playing a lot of the music that was pretty much the same. Kingdom Hearts, Simple and Clean, of course, Kill la Kill, which I thought was really, like, out the gate, like, wow. They played the recent Kingdom Hearts song, Face My Fears, a couple of more Kingdom Hearts songs, a little bit of Naruto, a little bit of, oh goodness, it escapes me, Full Metal Alchemist. But it seems like there was, 4 songs that they used and didn't actually branch out to anything else. I was thinking of, Soul Eater. I was thinking of Dragon Ball Z, Rock the Dragon. I was thinking of, like, remixes. There are also wonderful remixes of, like, the Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Sonic. There's several other songs. I heard, Live and Learn from one of the Sonic songs. There's so many different adaptations of different music that they could have used. Blood and Tears for all those Castlevania fans out there. There are tons of Street Fighter songs, Mortal Kombat songs that they could have used in it. It's just that they seem to be limited in their geek or fandom songs, and then they couldn't necessarily decide to add a little bit more hip hop into it. So either the thing I can suggest is either have a long laundry list of anime songs that everybody would know about, like really popular anime, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, from video games like Overwatch or Kill la Kill. Well, Kill la Kill is a video game, but like Guilty Gear, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and all that other stuff. Or if you want to go on the hip hop side, you could definitely do hip hop covers of those same songs, or trap versions of those same songs as well. Or, remixes. There's always wonderful remixes, songs that are like indie songs. Like, for instance, the Five Nights at Freddy fandom had like a plethora of songs that they made up pertaining to the game. Bendy definitely has a lot of them. Undertale has tons of them. These are other ideas that you can use for your music for the convention if it's that much of a problem to actually maneuver whether you want to go a hip hop type of route or not. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert at this, but it's just that I just felt that there are a lot of songs out there that you can choose that could bridge out, if not fulfill every, because, you can't necessarily please everybody, but you would have a lot more songs to choose from if you possibly went that route. But again, this is only me. But also, oh goodness, Steven Universe. There's plenty of remixes. They just came out with a movie, and there's like all the songs are pretty much like really good. So, there are other options. Again, I love the food truck. But there seemed to be only one food truck from what I could see. I think last year there was maybe one or two other food trucks that you can choose from. I like variety, so having more than one food truck would be nice to have at the convention. You know, maybe somebody who wants to do like an all-American, hot dogs, hamburgers, fries, and then others more Jamaican. Or better yet, if you don't want to go the food truck route, because I know some people are a little wary of food trucks, why don't we have somebody, I don't know, cater would be best, or have people that are fellow fans have like a potluck or something. It's just an idea, because I know last year they had, lasagna, not lasagna, baked ziti and some salad for some of the people that were more intimate, or, for the vendors and artists, but like maybe have that for also fans if they don't necessarily care for the food truck. It keeps people still in the convention hall. That's one of the biggest things is if you have areas around if you have food or restaurants around the area, not too far that they have to stray from the convention itself, you still have more happy fans that way. But whatever you do, try not to price gouge, because I've seen a lot of it. A lot of people complain that if they do have a restaurant within or multiple restaurants within the convention space, they price gouge. It's terrible. So yeah, maybe more than just one food truck with one particular type of food, or having multiple, or having a potluck, or having a catering. It's just a couple of ideas. I know it might be a little bit tough because of the budgeting. I understand that, but these are just other options that I've seen, especially with this year, versus maybe the previous year or two of what or what has been there. Another thing that I got from the vendors is, even though they were outside and they were happy to be outside, not everybody had tents. And it was really hot that day. And I felt maybe there was a way we could provide a tent, like you provided us for like Artist Alley a tent. Maybe there's another way to get tents for people who didn't bring any, or try to maybe put in like big bold letters, please bring a tent with you if you're going to do a vending or if you're planning to do any vending in this convention. It's one of those things, because it was hot that day, and I don't think anybody likes to have full direct sunlight unless you like tanning, but if they're in a very layered cosplay, I don't think they want to deal with that much. I do appreciate, of course, the waters though, but these are just minor things that I feel that can be fixed. And this is for me, it's just a nitpick. I understood the situation with the Artist Alley. They had to move it. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a hole in front of my booth. Again, like I said, I understand the situation. They had to move the tent in order for ambulance to get in, just in case if something were to happen. I get it. I do. I get it. It's just that I was basically nervous every time somebody would walk in front of my booth, because I didn't want anybody to fall or hurt themselves. So maybe, is it possible for maybe future, have the Artist Alley on the, like, instead of in the middle of the street, on the opposite side, because it seemed like the opposite side of the street was a little bit more even, maybe? I don't know. But it's just an option. It's just that, I don't want anybody to get hurt. And again, this is a nitpick. Again, this is not really that much of a big deal. Still, a lot of people enjoyed themselves. A lot of people enjoyed my art, and that's pretty much it. Just, that's it. As far as the unique stuff that happened, of course, like I said, this is one of the few, if not only, conventions I've been to outside. I love it outside. I hope there are more vendors, more artists next year. I hope more people show up next year. Also another thing that would possibly help, if you have one side where it has a vendor, like a admissions table where they give tickets out and badges out to people. Why don't they have both sides covered, because you know some people might not want to go all the way around on the opposite side to get into the proper entrance. Maybe instead have both sides where they have admissions tables where they can give those badges out, so you know who's coming and who's going throughout the convention, because we want everybody to be safe. We want to make sure everybody's having a good time, that type of thing. Of course, the ironing board, I'm going to just keep talking about the bloody ironing board. The ironing board was really cool. I loved it. I love that option. I hope you guys continue having that. Another thing is, I hope you guys continue this outside. And I hope that the con is big enough that you would eventually get a con space or a con area. But I feel like maybe if you do get a con area, have some of the segment outside, because I think that was really cool. One of the few things that I love about your convention is that it's outside. You get the fresh air, you get to run around a little bit and what have you, and just people and just enjoying themselves and not stuck indoors all day. But, you know, that's you know, it's just me. So, listen, overall, I enjoyed this convention. I hope you guys are open for business next year. I will definitely be gunning to attend you guys and hopefully get another table at your con next year, because it was just tons of fun. And more tournaments, more cosplay contests. Maybe also possibly panels should be an option this time. I don't know how you guys feel about panels, but you know, me personally, I do like lectures and seminars about your favorite thing and about certain fandoms. So, you know, it's just an idea. So, yep, this is a convention that I would recommend to anyone. If you guys are looking for a small convention, but with a big heart and potential for growth, this is the convention to visit. And you want something of a unique experience that is not necessarily indoors, this is definitely a convention for you guys. So, yeah, that's it for me for con reviews today. I hope you guys had a good time of me being silly and just ranting and raving on how much I love this convention and the good, the bad, and the unique stuff about it. So, if you want, make sure you guys click at the bottom, put in comments, click on subscribe, and I can bring you guys some more cool content. If you guys want to support, you guys check out my links on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and my Patreon page if you guys want to watch and support. Also, if you guys want to see any of my other content, my art coloring videos, as well as my nerd news and my art updates, you know, you can always go and check out my channel. So, I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, and I hope to see you guys again. I'll see you guys later. Bye!